everybody? JT Sports back to you guys with another video. I'm here with my Jacksonville Jaguars 2019 NFL record prediction, predicting the Jacksonville Jaguars win-loss record week by week of the 2019 NFL season. So the Jacksonville Jaguars, they signed Nick Foles. Their offensive line is healthy now. Leonard Fournette is going to be healthy coming into this season. Their defense is still one of the best in all of football. Then you add Josh Allen there. So, I mean, this team looks pretty good on paper, but the question is how good is that wide receiving core going to be? Because you can run the ball all you want to, but eventually you're going to have to get some things done through the air, and that's my biggest concern. Now they're getting Marquise Lee back, so that is a bonus. But I just want to know how consistent can that wide receiver core be? Because last season that wide receiving core was a big part of the struggles, despite all the injuries they had and Blake Bortles not being really good at all. But the wide receiving core was fairly inconsistent. You didn't even know who was going to be the number one wide receiver. So I mean, that's a big question mark for me coming into this year. But hopefully, those young wide receivers they should improve, being fairly young. So I think this season they take a step up, and I think this can be a pretty solid team. So week one they play the Kansas City Chiefs. This game is at home. I'm going to go with the Kansas City Chiefs to win this game. I think Jacksonville starts on one here. And the reason for that is just because I think Kansas City beats the Jacksonville Jaguars the same way that they beat them last time. The defense, they came out to get strong, but I just don't think Jacksonville's offense, even with Nick Foles, they're going to be able to put up a lot more points than what they did the first go around. But I just think Kansas City's offense is eventually going to be on the field a little bit too much, and they're going to end up tiring out that Jacksonville Jaguars defense, and that's how they end up winning this game here. Jacksonville Jaguars could win this game. I'm not really high on Kansas City because I still have concerns about their defense, but I think they can, Kansas City can win this game. It can go either way, but I'm going to go with Kansas City. Week two, they travel on the road to play the Houston Texans. Now, the Houston Texans, this is a divisional matchup. Um, I'm eager to see this game because I think the Jacksonville Jaguars team is actually has a chance to win this division, And Houston, I have a big concern with their offensive line. I don't think their offensive line is that much improved. I still think they have a lot of work to do. And basically, when Sean Watson plays the Jacksonville Jaguars team, even with DeAndre Hopkins, Will Fuller, and Kiki QT, the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to win this game because he's going to be back there still running for his life from Calais Campbell, Tavian Bryant, and Yannick Ngakoue, and whoever else the Jacksonville Jaguars have on that pass rushing core of their defense. So, I mean, he's just going to be back there running for his life, and the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to be able to win this game the first go around. Week three, Thursday night matchup, they play the Tennessee Titans. Now, for the life of me, I cannot understand how the Jacksonville Jaguars haven't beaten the Tennessee Titans in 2 seasons. And I mean, they lost to Marcus Mariota last season early on, and this dude had an elbow injury. He couldn't even throw the ball more than 20 yards. So they still find a way to lose that game, but this go around, I think they finally end the losing streak and they finally win against the Tennessee Titans on Thursday night. Hopefully, they get some revenge from what happened the last time these two teams played on Thursday night because Derrick Henry absolutely embarrassed the Jacksonville Jaguars on national television. This go around, I think Jacksonville Jaguars get the win here. Tennessee and Jacksonville, they are pretty evenly matched. So I think these two teams end up splitting the series, but I think Jacksonville ends up winning the first game out of two. Week four, they play the Denver Broncos. Now, this is a very interesting matchup. I think it's one of the games that fans of the NFL and people should watch because I think this is a very intriguing matchup. You have two good defenses that are very good at rushing the passer. I mean, you have Von Miller and Bradley Chubb, and you have Yannick Ngakoue and Calais Campbell, and those guys up front for the Jacksonville Jaguars. So this is going to be a very interesting game. You have two quarterbacks who are considered average, still have a bunch to prove who have had success in the past on new teams. So how successful are those two quarterbacks going to be? Nick Foles, Joe Flacco. So I think it's going to be a very close defensive battle. I'm going to go with Jacksonville. I think Jacksonville is going to be able to beat the Denver Broncos. I know it's going to be a tough game. It's going to be at Denver. Denver is kind of a hard place to play in, but I just think the Jacksonville Jaguars, to me, I think they're just a better team than the Denver Broncos. The Denver Broncos, they do have Von Miller, Bradley Chubb, Chris Harris, but I just think the Jacksonville Jaguars defense is going to be the difference in this game. I think they create some game changing turnovers, and that's why I think Jacksonville Jaguars are going to win this game versus Denver. And I just think they are a better team than Denver, in my opinion. Week 5, they travel on the road to face the Carolina Panthers. Now, this is another interesting matchup because the Carolina Panthers, their team is very solid, but their biggest Achilles heel is going to be their cornerback position. But I don't think the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to be taking advantage of their corners like that. I don't think the wide receivers are going to be that good yet to really expose Carolina's secondary. But I think that is something to take note going into this game. And for the most part, Carolina could win this game, but I want to go to Jacksonville Jaguars. I think this team is better personnel wise to stop the Carolina Panthers and limit Christian McCaffrey. When you think about all the speed that Jacksonville Jaguars have that linebacker position, even without Telvin Smith, Miles Jack, he should still be able to keep tabs on Christian McCaffrey. I think Christian McCaffrey, they hold them to a minimum. I think they kind of contain Christian McCaffrey. They stop that running attack. And, they neutralize the Carolina Panthers offense. And that's why I have them winning this game here. Week 6, they play the New Orleans Saints. The New Orleans Saints are coming to Jacksonville, but it's not like Jacksonville is a hard place to win at. And the New Orleans Saints offense is very good. So the question comes of how many points can the Jacksonville Jaguars offense manage and able to keep up with the New Orleans Saints talented offense? Because, to beat the New Orleans Saints, even though the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to hold their own on the defense side of the ball, they're going to keep the New Orleans Saints from scoring like 30 points. They're still going to have to score a couple of points to win this game. And I don't think Jacksonville Jaguars are going to be able to do that. I think it's going to be a close game. But I think New Orleans is going to win this game 24-17. Week 7, they play the Cincinnati Bengals. The Cincinnati Bengals, they're a pretty interesting team. I'm going to go with the Jacksonville Jaguars to win this game. I know they have a new head coach. They still have a pretty solid team, but I just don't think their off the line is going to be enough to stop the Jacksonville Jaguars defensive line. And I think the Jacksonville Jaguars have a field day. I think they probably have about 5 or 6 sacks on Andy Dalton because I think a lot of things that people are overlooking with the Cincinnati Bengals or the offensive line. The offensive line doesn't really look that good. Week 8, they play the New York Jets. We all know what happened the last time the Jacksonville Jaguars played New York. It was unsurprised. It was a very surprising loss on their part, losing to the New York Jets. This go around, I think they beat the New York Jets. I was high on New York, but it's just the stuff that New York has going on in the front office and with Adam Gase and stuff like that. So I just think that's going to be a factor. I think that's going to kind of limit the New York Jets' potential this season. I think this is a game that's going to be very, very interesting to watch. It could go either way, but I'm going to go with the Jacksonville Jaguars basically because I just don't think the New York Jets off the line is really going to be that good. And I think that's a lot of thing. I think that's a big thing that people are overlooking with the New York Jets as well. Just like the Cincinnati Bengals, their off the lines don't really look that good on paper to me. Week 9, they play at London, and they're playing Houston. So they already beat Houston in week 2. Can they sweep Houston? Now, Houston is a very tough team, and Jacksonville is a very tough team to beat at London. But I'm going to go with Houston to win this game because although the Jacksonville Jaguars, when they play in London, they're basically gods. They basically become a very tough team to beat at London for some reason. But I just can't see Houston losing to the Jacksonville Jaguars twice. And I just can't see Jacksonville Jaguars sweeping Houston. Week 10, they have their bye week, which benefits them because this is, late in the season, so it gives those guys on the offensive side of the ball and the defensive side of the ball time to recuperate, time to heal up from injuries and get some much needed rest before they go play the Indianapolis Colts at Indianapolis. That's going to be a pretty interesting matchup. considering that these two teams are playing very late in the season. So at this point, the Jacksonville Jaguars could be jockeying for a playoff spot. I think they win this first matchup against Indianapolis. I think Indianapolis, is going to be a pretty close game. And I think Indianapolis is going to put up a fight, but I think Jacksonville Jaguars are going to force Andrew Luck to, turn the ball over, or they have like a game changing turnover or something like that. And that's how they win this game here. Week 11 against Indianapolis. Week 12, they play the Tennessee Titans. I have them losing here. Tennessee and the Jacksonville Jaguars are just too evenly matched. I think they are going to split the series, and all the teams in the AFC South, I think they all split against each other. I can't really see any team really, being the more dominant team in this division. All four of these teams are pretty evenly matched. All four of them have very good arguments and legit arguments of why they can win in this division. But I'm going to go to the Jacksonville Jaguars to lose this game versus Tennessee. Week 13, they play Tampa Bay Buccaneers at home. This is going to be a very interesting matchup because we know Bruce Arians and this offense, Tampa Bay, they're going to put up a lot of points. They're capable of doing that. And for the most part, I think Jacksonville Jaguars defense, Jalen Ramsey, AJ Boye, they pretty much neutralized and shut down Tampa Bay's offense. And the reason why is because I think Tampa Bay is a little bit too one dimensional. I don't think they are going to be very good at running the football. At least they weren't very good running the football last season. And I think against Jacksonville to have success to neutralize that pass rush, you gotta have success running the football. And I don't think Tampa Bay is going to be able to do that. So Tampa Bay is going to play right into the Jacksonville Jaguars' hands. They're probably going to throw the ball like 30 times this game, and they're going to play it right into the Jacksonville Jaguars' hands. The Jacksonville Jaguars, they want you to try to throw the ball 30 times a game so they can get those pass rushers after you. And I think Tampa ends up losing this game, and Jacksonville ends up going home with the victory. Week 14, their second straight home game. The Jacksonville Jaguars are playing the Los Angeles Chargers. Now, I have them winning this game because I think the Jacksonville Jaguars win this game versus the LA Chargers because the LA Chargers, I don't think they're going to be able to stop the run. The Chargers are more of a team that's suited personnel wise to stop the pass, not much the run. And I think the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to be one of the better rushing teams in the NFL. They have one of the best run blocking off the lines in all of football, so that's another aspect. So that's why I have them beating the Los Angeles Chargers. Week 15, they played the Oakland Raiders. That's a win there. I think that could be a pretty interesting matchup to watch. That Oakland Raiders newly improved offense versus that Jacksonville Jaguars defense. Antonio Brown versus Jalen Ramsey. But I think Oakland loses this game because I don't really have a lot of confidence in our offensive line in terms of them going to be able to stop this pass rushing attack of the Jacksonville Jaguars and that defense with Calais Campbell, Yannick Ngakoue. I think they get after Derek Carr, they pressure Derek Carr, and they win this game here. Now they close out the season with their last away game versus the Atlanta Falcons. Um, this is going to be a very interesting match because the Atlanta Falcons are a very, very complete team, one of the most complete teams in all of the NFL. But they have a couple of guys who they're plugging in at the offensive line position. I believe they're going to be starting two rookies. So that's a matchup that if you're a Jaguars fan that you should be excited about because that pass rushing core, the Jacksonville Jaguars, I think that's going to be a big part of this game and how this could affect the game. But I think the Atlanta Falcons are going to end up winning this game. I just think they are going to be the more talented team. And although Jacksonville Jaguars are going to keep them in this game, I just think Atlanta at home is just going to be too tough to beat. And week 17 against the Indianapolis Colts, they close out the season. At home, I have them losing this game here. I don't think Indianapolis is going to lose to Jacksonville Jaguars twice. I don't think Jacksonville Jaguars are going to be good enough to beat the Colts twice, so I have them losing this game here. So the record that I have for the Jacksonville Jaguars is 9-7. 9-7 could very much well get the Jacksonville Jaguars into the playoffs. I think the Jacksonville Jaguars are a playoff team. They could very much well win this division, but this is a tricky division. Everybody in this division is pretty much evenly matched. You can make a case, an argument for every team in this division to win the division. You can make a legit argument that every team in this division can make the playoffs, but I think this is a division that can actually have three of these teams make it to the playoffs. I think it's that good. They're just so very good on the defense side of the ball. Even the Colts, man, they have some guys on defense as well. So Jacksonville Jaguars have them going to 9-7. Let me know what you guys think about my predictions down in the comment section down below. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more NFL videos and content. And thanks for watching.